Hey guys, it is book haul time once again, and this one is pretty damn massive. This is actually my third attempt at making this video. I am having serious issues speaking tonight. It might possibly be the fact that it's like after 12 o'clock at night, but yeah, let's try to get this done once and for all. Alright, so I might have said something about having a book buying ban for the entire month of April, but obviously it didn't quite work out that way. Yeah, so I've got a total of 13 books and 2 box sets to show you, so I'm just going to get started. And I'm going to start off with 2 books, get these out of the way right at the top, because there's no real reason for me to have these books. It was an accidental purchase. It was my first foray into buying books off of eBay, and of course I screwed it up. I don't know what I thought I was bidding on, but it wasn't these books, and by the time I realized I made a mistake, I'd already won the auction, of course. So, I got Play Dirty and Get Lucky, both by Laurie Auclair. And yeah, it's a series called The Bounty Hunters, and I don't really know much more than that. I did look these up on Goodreads, and they both got absolutely terrible reviews, so yay me! Score! Actually, I shouldn't say that, because you never know, I might wake up one of these days and just have a burning desire to read a book about a shirtless bounty hunter, and if I do, if I have that desire, I will have 2 books to choose from. So yeah. Next up is my signed hardcover copy of J.R. Ward's Lover at Last. I ordered this through her website back in like December or January, and I don't know how well this is going to come out on camera, but it says, "To Holly with very best wishes and BDB love, J.R. Ward." And I love the cover because it's that satiny, buttery feeling to it. Yes, I love everything about the cover of this book, actually. But it's just, it feels so nice. Yes. And that's the back. Skinny, blonde, badass right there. Okay, so there you go. Of course, I've already read this, but... Alright, so the next 2 books I got are both by the same author. And they are Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door, both by Stephanie Perkins. Now, I've read Anna and the French Kiss, which I absolutely loved. Loved, and I do plan on reading Lola very soon, hopefully. I don't really have to say too much about these books because everybody has either already read them or they at least know what they're about, so yes, I was very happy to finally get these. Okay, so the next 3 books I've actually already read, and not only have I already read, they're 3 of my favorite books of all time, but I've only read them on my Kindle, so I wanted to have physical copies of the books here. So, first one is Graffiti Moon by Kath Crowley. If you watched my favorite books of 2012 or favorite books read in 2012 video, then you might remember me talking about this book. It is about a girl named Lucy who is obsessed with this graffiti artist named Shadow, and she embarks on this adventure to try and track him down, and she goes with this guy that she had this very disastrous date with, and he's helping her find Shadow. And this book is so fantastic. It's just beautifully written, and I've said this before, and it bears repeating that it doesn't feel like you're reading a book with this. It feels like you're having a conversation with the characters, because it feels like they're talking to you, and you feel like you're in the story, and that just makes it so much more enjoyable. And it takes place over the course of one night. It's very short, very quick read, and it's just so great. I'm so happy that I was able to finally get this in, you know, hard copy. So there you go. Next up is Easy by Tamara Weber, another one of my favorite books of all time. This was the very first new adult book that I ever read, and Tamara Weber is a fantastic author. This is about a girl named Jacqueline who goes to a party at a frat house one night, and as she's leaving, she is attacked, and she ends up being saved by this guy named Lucas, who has sort of always been in the background. She has a few classes with him, but she never really noticed him before. And this book is very, very unique in the fact that Lucas sort of empowers Jacqueline to stand up on her own 2 feet and to become a very strong, independent person. He teaches her self-defense and One of the problems that I have with a lot of YA and a lot of romance in general is that the female characters seem so incredibly dependent on the male characters, and it's not the case in this book. Jacqueline is a fierce, strong, independent, badass female character, and I love her, and I love this book, and it's just so great and highly, highly recommended. So super excited, and I hope to do a reread of this book very soon. And next up is Enshadowed by Kelly Cray. This is the second book in the Nevermore series. Anybody who watches my channel knows that I am a huge fan of this series. But yeah, this is the second book, and it picks up right after the events of Nevermore, and it ends with one hell of a cliffhanger that ripped my heart out and shredded it. Which makes the fact that, as of now, there is no word on when the third book is coming out. We don't have a cover, we don't have a title, and we have no idea of a release date, so that just makes it even more maddening. But yeah, one of my goals of 2013 was to do a reread of the first two books in the series, and I plan on doing it hopefully maybe by the beginning of May. I might be able to get around to it. So yeah, I had to have this because I have the first book, so I had to have the second book. So yeah. This book I actually got through the publisher, but I don't really remember why or how. I think they were doing, like, I don't know if they were doing a giveaway or what. I think I read about the fact, I think they were giving a certain number of copies of the book away, and I read about it on Goodreads or something. But it is Breadcrumbs by Anne Urzu. I think that's how you say her name. I love the cover, it's so pretty. And it is a modern retelling of The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. And it's got, I think it has illustrations somewhere. Yes. Here. See? And you guys know how much I love illustrations in books, so yes, I'm excited to read this one. And the next one I got is an ARC. I was so excited to get this. Oh my god. It is Paper Valentine by Brenna Yovanoff. She is one of my favorite authors. She's written two books that are both on my top favorite books of all time, The Replacement and The Space Between. Both of them are, I'm trying really hard not to curse right now. They're both fantastic. It's about this girl named Hannah whose best friend has died, I believe from anorexia, and her best friend is haunting her, and in the midst of all that, she lives in this little town called Ludlow, and all of these girls are starting to disappear. So it's kind of like a ghost story wrapped up in a murder mystery, and it just sounds super cool, and I cannot wait to read this book. I'm so excited to get my hands on this, and look at the cover. It's so pretty. The next two books I got are by the same author yet again, and they are Cemetery Lake and Collecting Cooper, both by Paul Cleave. Now, last month I read a book by him called Blood Men, and it was the best thriller that I had read in years, so I knew I wanted to get more books by him. And he is an author from New Zealand, and unfortunately his books, not all of his books are available in the United States yet. So I did get these two off of eBay. So in this instance, eBay did come in very good, very handy for me, because I think I got these two for like $7 for both of them. This book is about a private investigator named Theo Tate, who at the very beginning of the book, he is exhuming a body from the cemetery, and as they're raising the coffin from the ground, the cemetery borders this lake, hence the title, Cemetery Lake. Clever, huh? As they're raising the coffin from the grave, literally at that exact moment, these things that look like balloons start popping up in the lake, and it turns out they're not balloons, they're bodies. So they've got all these bodies popping up in the lake, and nobody knows where they came from. And that's how this starts, and that sounds like a pretty damn great way to start a book. So yeah, so for that one. And then with Collecting Cooper, this is about a guy who collects anything to do with serial killers, and his goal is to collect a serial killer himself, and so he goes about hunting down this guy who is suspected of being a serial killer. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Paul Cleave's writing, and yeah, so I'm really excited to read both these books actually. So yeah. All right, next up is the last book I bought actually. It just arrived yesterday, and it is the beautiful paperback copy of Painted Faces by L.H. Causeway. Now, a new thing I'm doing on my channel is this thing called Pick My Next Read, where I offer up like 2 or 3 books and have my subscribers vote on what book they think I should read next. And this was the winner for my very first episode. This was actually pretty close between this and Girl of Nightmares, but this one won. And I'm not going to really say anything about this book because I'm getting ready to film a video review for it when I'm done with this video. But yeah, it's set in Ireland, and it's about 2 characters. You've got Frida, who bakes cupcakes by day, and then by night she is the wardrobe assistant to a cabaret drag queen called Vivica Blue, also known as Nicholas Turner. And this is a love story, the likes of which I have never encountered in my life, and I am going to say right here that this is my favorite adult novel that I've ever read in my entire life. It is life-altering. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But if I pique your interest, watch out for my video review for this book, which I will probably post tomorrow. So yeah. Okay, so now we get to the 2 box sets. The first one is just because I had to have it because it's some of my favorite books of all time, and I no longer have the series, and I had coupons for Books A Million, and I decided what better way to spend my coupons on Books A Million than to get the Harry Potter series in paperback. So there's that. And then the other box set that I got is one that I've actually been debating about getting for quite a while, and I finally caved and bought them. I got them off of eBay, and it is the white edition of Twilight. Yeah, I have a little story and a little bit of a rant about this particular purchase. Now, like I said, I've been like debating whether or not I should buy them for quite a while, but I knew that when I was going to buy them, I wanted to get the ones that came out in England because the ones that were released in the States didn't have the red page edges, and I wanted the ones with the red page edges, so I had to make sure I got the ones from England. So I ordered them off of eBay, and when I got them, first of all, it took forever for me to get them, and I was really annoyed because the guy was supposed to send them like expedited air mail or something, and it still took forever. But these were supposed to be brand new, and I expected them to come in with the cardboard around them, and they didn't. They weren't brand new. I don't care what the guy says because they were really filthy when I opened the box. It was just like they were a mess, and there was a sticker on New Moon that somebody had obviously tried to peel off and then just gave up on. So it took me a while to clean them up, but I've kind of gotten over my anger about how they showed up, and I got a partial refund from the guy, so it wasn't so bad. Anyway, so this is what they look like. I love the white cover, and I love the red. So yeah, that's Twilight, New Moon, which is my least favorite book in the series. See the dent. Yeah. Eclipse. And Breaking Dawn. Yeah, so that's my haul, you guys. It has taken me forever to make this video. Hopefully it's not boring as hell, and hopefully it's not an hour long. But yeah, so those are all the books that I've gotten over the last month, and I have to completely rearrange my bookshelves now. So probably the next time you see me sitting in front of these bookshelves, there will be different books behind me, if that makes any sense. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, you guys. Cut me some slack. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so as always, if you have any questions about any of the books I've talked about today, or if you'd like me to do a review of a particular book, let me know, and I will do what I can. So as always, leave me some love, leave me comments, share your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys really, really soon. And as always, I love you and happy reading.